Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Eternal Flames. My name is Blaze. So, if you've noticed, we got ourselves a very interesting little setup here, and I've been looking at some of the older tutorials, especially for, say, like TerraFirmaCraft. For those of you who have played Minecraft, but not TerraFirmaCraft, you have no idea the changes that are in store for you. Not only that, but TerraFirmaCraft has got some pretty large changes as of recently, which will affect our new series and our new Let's Play, to better allow you guys to either A, follow along, or B, maybe jump in and survive and thrive on your own. Here are a set of tutorials that I feel that you guys may enjoy to help you get along in the world. Keep in mind that these tutorials are for beginners or people who just haven't done that specific thing before. If you don't like this particular tutorial, feel free to skip ahead or maybe go back a couple steps. This particular message will be in front of all the tutorials, and we heavily encourage you guys to watch them if you want the help. If you feel you want to learn on your own, by all means go try to, or maybe you just don't want to listen to me. In that case, go take a look at the wiki, which we have down in the description below. Hope you guys all enjoy, and I guess we'll see you soon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to see you guys again. Okay, so we've gone over quite a bit of stuff, and while I do have a ceramic jug here, we need to get into some pottery. Now, first thing you need to know is how to get the clay for your pottery. Pretty much, it's pretty simple. You look for these flowers. Now, these flowers are called goldenrod. Now, goldenrod can be found all over the world, and it doesn't necessarily hold itself to any particular part of the world, which means you can find it near mountains, you can find it near water. Generally, you can find it anywhere, which is great. However, you might want a tool to make this process a little bit easier, so it's recommendable to more or less have a shovel. So let's go ahead and make a shovel real quick, and we'll just snag up all this. Boom, shovel head. Now that we've got a shovel head, what we want to do is we want to take our brand new shovel and let's go ahead and get to work on, well, getting some clay. Digging right below these goldenrod, we can already pick up a lot of really nice clay. Now, clay grass, which is pretty much what this grass has grown over, or what this grass is, I should say, should hold a little bit more clay than the clay deeper down. This is actually kind of a really nice feature, and I find it to be very helpful. Though, essentially, you'd still want to dig up as much as possible. Now, I can actually use this for some other projects later down the line, so I can just kind of leave this hole here and put to use another time. So, that's actually a thing. Now, for those of you who've been watching, you guys know that I've got myself a little forge here that's going to undergo some remodeling eventually. It will grow as the series grows, and who knows, maybe it'll become more than a forge later. But for the time being, we've got what we need. Or do we? In order to properly prepare everything, we're actually going to need a couple more things. We're also going to need a knife. In this case, we'll do 2, because knives are the only thing you can get doubles of. And we're going to want one more item, but let's get some sticks real fast. Come on. I just need a couple sticks. There's 1, and there's 2. Perfect. Okay, and we're going to need 1 more rock, because we're going to need 2 more items. We're going to need an axe, because we're going to need wood, and we're going to need a knife. Now, why am I making these tools on the spot? Well, because we really want to make sure that I stay in touch with you guys. So I'm working right along with you from here on out in the series, hopefully with the idea that everything will work out. So we got some spare knives now, which is kind of nice, and we got an axe. Now, what all do we need and how do we set up the clay? Well, first things first, we've got our clay, right? And we got our tools. So we're going to need at least 8 logs. Now, logs are gotten by just chopping out a tree. Not timber, not wood planks, but they have to be logs. Okay. And we have 7, so we're actually 1 short. Now, here's a nice little tip. You can mix and match. So, just for the sake of argument, I'm actually going to grab a whole nother log here, right? And we'll just snag this up, and boom. We actually got 8 of that kind, but we'll mix and match just for the sake of argument. So, we've got that. Now, what is the knife for? Well, the knife is actually for the grass. If you notice, I'm now picking up straw. Straw is actually very important, and in a previous tutorial we mentioned that it can be turned into thatch. More or less we just need the straw, but once again, sake of argument, this straw has pretty much a couple uses, but the main ones are for what we're about to do, which is build a kiln, and for thatch. Now, thatch is obviously for straw. It is a block, it can be placed, but the problem with thatch is it's considered a transparent block, which means we go through it. Just a reiteration of earlier. Okay, so we now have our straw, we have our wood. We need, well, a place to put it, which I've hollowed out a little area right there. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to fill that with some pottery, but first we gotta make some pottery. Now, I'm going to make the first one, and then I'm going to put up on the screen some of the recipes for you to kind of enjoy. So, first off, there, a clay vessel. This is actually going to be very useful later on down the line. Okay, now that we got a clay vessel, let's go ahead and let you guys see a bit more stuff, and then we'll get going. So I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to wait. Don't worry, take your time. In all due honesty, there's a lot of recipes here. Don't feel like you need to memorize them right now, but keep in mind that they're going to be very important later. You got all of them? Good! Okay, so moving back on, we're back in my house, and essentially what we want to do is we want to build a kiln. Now, a kiln can be made outside, in the dirt. It can be made anywhere there are blocks. However, keep in mind that there will be fire. And as such, be very careful about having it near flammable anything. You don't want to burn down your house by accident. In this case, we're not close enough that I don't think it should affect my support beams or anything like that. I hope. Let's find out if I'm right or wrong on that one. In the meantime, if you shift click with a piece of clay or a clay object in your hand, you can place it down, and then you taking your straw. You notice we have 9, plop it down, and it won't take any more once it reaches its capacity, which is 8. Next, we want to add some logs. Now this is where you gotta be careful, because you don't want to accidentally place down the log. 1, 2, 3, 4, and just for, once again, the sake of mixing and matching, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, and we're good to go. Now, here's something that we haven't gone over before, and I almost completely forgot it, and I do apologize for that. We actually need 2 sticks, because we're about to build a fire starter. Now, what is a fire starter? Well, it's pretty much exactly the way it sounds. It's a fire starter. It's meant to start fires. However, think of this for people who, don't quite understand, as a miniature flint and tinder. Or flint and tinder. Flint and steel. So what you need is 2 sticks, which we just went out and got, 1, 2, and put them across from one another. Once you have your fire starter, it's a touch and go. It may start fire, it may not, so it may take multiple tries. Let's find out. Oh, we got it on the first try. Fantastic. Okay, now, this is going to take a little bit of time to do. However, for the sake of the tutorial, since it is night and everything else, let's go ahead and fast forward time just a nudge. So I'm going to use a server command, /time, set, day. And boom, the fire has gone out, and you'll notice our clay has turned quite brown. So now we actually have a clay vessel, and you guys have just made a kiln and baked your first piece of pottery. Now, to add even more to this, while there was a variety of recipes, the main recipes you're going to be looking at are going to be this vessel, clay molds, and of course my little favorite ceramic jug here. Now, what's really cool about these is whether they're in their raw form or whether they're in their cooked form, you can shift, right click, and place them down. They will fill approximately all 4 corners of a block, which means you can have 4 objects in the same space. Very handy and great. What's even better is if you're really looking to bide space before you can make your first chest, the ceramic vessels can actually hold up to 4 different kinds of item, providing they're small enough. Certain items like logs though are just too big and can't be worked like that. However, a way to get around that is simply shift, right clicking with that, and now we have a log pile. There we go. Okay, so I hope this tutorial has been helpful. It's very short, very elegant, very sweet to the point, and hopefully those recipes really help you out as well. These recipes are going to be used here in the near future when we go into basically metallurgy, the mixing of metal. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, a like would be appreciated. Also, give us a comment, let us know what you enjoyed about it. If you disliked it, well, hit the dislike button. We're not afraid to get some dislikes, and frankly, we want to know how to make things better, so a comment down below to let us know how to improve is much appreciated, and we really look forward to kind of seeing you again. On that note, subscribe if you really enjoyed this. We're going to keep putting up tutorials, and we're going to keep doing more and more stuff, and we would love to have you guys here to watch us. We also enjoy making content for you, so feel free to stop on by anytime. Okay, that's going to be it for me, and I want you guys to just remember this. No matter what you do, you're going to need wood, straw, and clay, as well as a couple of very simple, preferably stone tools, to get yourself started. Take care and see you guys next time.